Hi, welcome to my channel, sliminspirationsforyou.com, and Happy New Year 2019. Can you believe it? I don't know where last year went, but we're now into a new year and for me, a new start. I promised myself back in December that I was going to take the pressure off myself in respect of my weight loss journey and to not go mad with food, but to allow myself to have some treats and to not worry about what I was eating and drinking as long as I was having a good time. The reason for that was that I had a lot going on. I was really busy, had a lot of family things that were going on, and I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, which sometimes has an adverse effect. So I gave myself permission in December to eat and drink what I liked. Now, the downside of that is that the scales don't look very pretty at the moment. So I said to myself that I would let December be a bit of a holiday, a bit of a break, but from the 1st of January, I was going to get back in control. So I've continued doing Slim World. I've not stopped going to group or anything like that, don't get me wrong, and I've been doing Slim World for 2 years. But I've sort of not been worried if the scales weren't what I wanted them to be each week. And I had to do that because I do believe that I need to be in the right place, and I certainly wasn't in the right place before Christmas. So today is the 1st of January and today is the first day of my new weight loss journey. And I'm going to say weight loss journey because I'm not on a diet. I have not been on a diet in the last 2 years because Slim World isn't a diet. It is about managing what you eat, so you eat more healthily and you can still have those treats but you keep them under control. And so that I can keep in control, there's a few things that I need to now do from today. And one of those is that I need to keep track of what I'm eating and when I'm eating it and how I'm feeling. So the way I do that, and I did this when I started Slim World and it worked for me. When you join any weight loss group, they do ask you to do a food diary usually, so that your consultant can have a look at it and see where you're going wrong or what you're doing well. And I did that with Slim World for the first 4 weeks, but on top of that, I kept a little journal. This is just a bog standard notebook, but it has got little partitions in. And this really worked well for me when I first started Slim World, because I started Slim World because I've moved from where I've lived all my life to sort of like a little rural location. Didn't know anybody, so used to be now to walk out of my house and know, the neighbours or family and friends. So when I moved here, I found it really different, and I didn't like it, but I found it quite a challenge. I'd also not been very well, so I'd put a few pounds on and didn't like how it made me feel. So while I was at home recuperating from an operation, I made a decision to myself that I was going to join Slim World. One, because I thought it would help me meet new people, but two, it would help me get my weight under control and give me some motivation. So I joined the local Slim World group, and this book takes me through my journey. So I started it on the first day and I wrote everything in there, from what I was eating, how I was feeling, any sins I had, because with Slim World you have free food, and that's fruit, vegetables, meats, as long as there's no fat on them, but then you can also have treats, which they call sins. And I literally recorded everything in this book. It was next to me on the sofa while I was recovering, and it was in my handbag when I returned to work. And it really helped me focus my journey. So if I was having a bad day, it reminded me of why I was doing this and what I was wanting to get out of this. If I was having a really good day, I could celebrate it. It recorded my weight. Now, my hands up, I do weigh myself every day. I read a motivation book years ago, and one of the things it said was to weigh yourself every day, and it's sort of in my brain. But I do know that Slim World do say just do it once a week when you go for your weigh-in. Everyone's very different, and I can get why you might want to leave it to a week, because if you do lose weight, you lose a bigger proportion of weight, whereas by weighing every day, it's like minuscule or it stays the same. So it could demotivate you, but for me it worked. So I tracked every day in this book, in this journal, and it's great because I can go back now as well and see, the weeks where I lost, say, £6 in a week. What did I do? How did I do it? So I'm revisiting this and I'm starting it afresh. Now, the other key thing with my weight loss journey, and the same for you, if you're feeling the same as I do, is you need a goal. Because why are you doing it? You know, no one loses weight just because. You lose weight because you don't like how you look, or you've got a big event coming up. It could be absolutely anything. You could have had, you know, a breakup in your life, you know, and you want to get back on track and, you know, change who you are. So there's also a reason behind weight loss. For me, this year is a milestone. I'm going to hit a certain age, and I felt fantastic in November 2017 because I hit a weight I never thought I'd ever hit, and I felt brilliant. And I want to get back to that. So in my journal, the first page actually says that. It says 1st of January 2019, the year I turned 50. And it says, goal to be slim. So that is my motivation for going back on my weight loss journey. Now, I'm not 50 for many, many months now, so it would be really stupid for me to say today that my only goal is to get to that birthday, because it actually isn't. Because for me, that's too far away, and I wouldn't be giving myself a really good target. What I have got is a couple of milestones before then, which I'm going to work to. One of those milestones is that I'm doing dry January. I've tried to do it years before, and when I told my husband this, it took me a long time to pick him up off the floor from laughing. He doesn't think I'm going to do this, and actually, in fairness, there's some close friends and family that don't think I'm going to do it, but I am. Now, the reason I'm doing it is not because I've got an alcohol problem, I only drink at weekends. It's because I am so committed to this weight loss journey that I know that probably my biggest weakness is wine. So at the weekends, my sins will be consumed on wine. And the other issue is that wine is quite high in calories. So when you're looking at what you can drink over on a weekend, Slim will only allow you, for example, 12 sins. A normal glass of Prosecco or champagne for a very small glass is for 125 mils, 5 sins. If you work out 5 sins for one small glass and you allow 12, then 2 glasses a day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm going to be completely honest here. There's no way on a weekend I'm having 2 glasses of fizz each night. It's not going to happen. Once I open that bottle, I'm going to finish it, or almost finish it. Let's be fair, I do leave some in some bottles. Last year, I actually discovered a saviour when it came to my wine, and it's a company called Slimline. I'll show you that. Okay. Now, Slimline was launched this year in September in Tesco's, but only the fizz, which is brilliant for me because I love the fizz, I have to say. And they do a pink fizz and a white fizz, but they also do a flat white and a flat red. I've vlogged on this, and I've also got a website which is www.sliminspirationsforyou.com, where I've talked about this wine. This wine is fantastic. It has 2/3 of the calories that you would have in normal wine. So for Slim World, it's 3.5 sins for a small glass as opposed to 5 sins. Has no carbs, it's vegan and vegetarian friendly, has low sulphur, so there's no hangovers. So if I did finish the whole bottle, I wouldn't get a hangover the next day. I can tell you one thing, it tastes amazing. Most champagnes would struggle to actually compete with the taste of these, so I recommend this. But what it did mean though, for 12 sins, I could probably have 3 glasses of this. But again, 3 glasses, I'll tell you one thing, this is like Pringles. Once you pop it, you can't stop. It is delicious. So I've decided for January to give myself a real kick start with my weight loss journey. I'm going to go cold turkey and not drink any of this at all. I've checked, and the 1st of February is a Friday. So I am so excited that I will be able to come home from work on that Friday night, and I'm going to pop one of these bottles. The other incentive is that my husband said if I achieve it, he will take me out for dinner. So that is my first milestone, is that I'm going to get to the 31st of January on my weight loss journey, taking away my temptation to see what difference that makes to my weight loss. So that's only 31 days away, and I think that's really, really good time. You know, it's quite a small chunk, but it's achievable. So watch this space for that one. Now, the other thing is snacking. I don't go for crisps and things like that. That's not my go-to thing. But sometimes I do like some sweets, not chocolate, but sweets. And I have probably a bizarre taste in sweets because some people don't like these. But I love foam bananas and shrimps. Okay. I also love coconut mushrooms. I also love midgy gems. And the cheaper, the better. I don't know why, they just taste better. And I could eat that in one sitting and not even realise. So in my journal, I'm actually building up a list of all the things that tempt me and putting in the sins. So I have go-to sins. So you'll see my wines in there. Okay. By keeping it all in the same journal, it's really easy, just one book on you. With my snacks, I've also then gone one step further, is I'm actually bagging them. You can buy these from Tesco. They're little snack bags. My nieces love these. They're resealable, so you can reuse them. And I've been weighing out my bag of sweets. So if I get my coconut mushrooms for you, that bag there could be eaten in one sitting. Okay, 25 grams of coconut mushrooms is 5 sins. When you weigh out 25 grams, can you see? It's only 3 mushrooms, and not very big ones either. That bag had 5 of those in. So that bag was 25 sins. I'm only allowed 12 in a day. Can you see now how easily I can actually increase what I'm eating without realising it, especially if I've had a glass of this. So I'm going to be very good, and I'm bagging all my treats into sin bags. So I know that every time I want something, I can just go to my little journal and I can see how many of these bags I can have a day. But I'm going to plan them. I'm not just going to take them. Okay, let's be honest. There might be days when I might just take a bag, but at least I know what that bag's worth. I'm not going to have that big bag and demolish it, because that's what I do. I'm terrible. So that's all in my journal. Okay, next thing in my journal is my measurements. Okay, this is the best idea you will ever have in your weight loss journey. Okay, sometimes those scales do not tell you what you want to see. I can promise you that there'll be some weeks when you know you have worked really hard, you have exercised well, you have eaten well, and those scales say you have lost ½ pound or you stayed the same. You get a tape measure, and the first day of your weight loss journey, you measure everything that's important to you. So your waist, your hips, your bust, your arms, your legs, whatever you think is really important to you, or a multitude of all those, and record it in your journal. Okay, set a milestone of when you're going to recheck this, and I used to do it monthly. I might do it fortnightly because I don't have as much that I want to lose, so I'm going to probably do it fortnightly. And measure yourself. You will be shocked at how much your inches will change. An example of that is I only lost 2 stone, but I lost 7 inches off my waist. I mean, 7 inches, that is just mad. If I put into perspective, 7 inches is that. That's a lot to lose off your waist. Yet the scales, 2 stone doesn't sound a lot, does it? Well, it is a lot, but it doesn't sound a lot. But when you say 7 inches and you say that came off my waist, that for me was amazing. That just showed where all my weight was sitting, actually. It was sitting on my waist. So that was a massive incentive, and actually revisiting my weight loss journey, that's what I'm going to be hoping to achieve again. I never thought I'd get to the same waistline that I was when I was 20, and I did. So I was over the moon. So that's another incentive for me. And so that will be in my book, and that will keep me going. I'm also going to record my exercise. Now, I do have a Fitbit, which I love, but I want you to remember that exercise isn't about going to the gym. Exercise is about everything you do. So from doing your housework, to running around with your kids, to walking your dogs, is exercise. All you need to do is set yourself a goal. So if you don't exercise now, I'm not saying you've got to run off and start jogging down the road and doing a 5k run. Why don't you say to yourself, I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk, and then build it up day by day. You don't need to do loads and loads and loads of exercise. I do go to the gym because I love it, but I also like to do a lot of walking with my dogs. If you look at my YouTube channel and my website, you will see that I also use exercise as an excuse to get out and about. So I take the dogs for walks in the country. We go to city breaks, or when we go on holiday, I challenge myself to how many steps we can do in a day. When we were in Rome, we were doing about over 30,000 steps because I kept looking at my Fitbit and wanting to do more and more. And I kept thinking, well, the more exercise I do, the more I can eat and not worry about it. So, don't think you need expensive gyms. I go to Slim World because I enjoy it. It works for me. But I do appreciate also that for some people, having to spend nearly £5 a week is a lot out of their budget to go. So you don't need to join a Slimming World group, okay? If you can, brilliant, please go, because I love it. But you can still lose weight at home. And one of the things by using your journal, if you record what you eat and what you drink and all that sort of stuff, your inches, your weight, and you keep revisiting it every week, you'll see that you're losing weight, and you can get patterns as to why you're doing that. Another thing you can do is pop along to your WH Smiths or local newsagents and maybe pick up their Slim World magazine. It will give you ideas of things that you can eat. It has a shopping list on there of things that you need to go and buy to make some of the recipes. Amazing stories of people who've lost weight, who've been in the same position as you or I have been. And some people say, well, it's really expensive to do these diets. Can I just put it out there? This isn't a diet. This is about healthy eating. And it's not expensive. I've done a blog about shopping at Lidl. You can go to Lidl and Aldi, any of the cheaper supermarkets, and you can buy some amazing foods and you can create some fabulous recipes. And in my website, I did a whole week of Lidl shopping and recipes based on that. So, go along and have a look at that. Weight loss is a personal thing, but get your friends and family involved to help encourage you as well, because that's really important, and that's what I will be doing. As I said, I'm setting myself bite-sized chunks. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to record it either through this video with you or in my blog as well. So what I want you to do is, subscribe to my channel, check in, see how I'm doing, comment if you feel that anything you want to add to it. Tell me how you're doing. It's really good to hear how other people are doing and whether you have the same struggles as well, because life gets very, very busy, and just sometimes there's going to be weeks where I'm not going to lose what I want to lose. There's some weeks where I'm going to be absolutely over the moon, and it's having other people to help and encourage and talk to which really, really helps. I'm going to do it through my Slim World groups and through my blog and my vlog. So you may not have that outlet, so let's work on it together. It's 2019, it's the first day of the new year. If you want to lose weight and you want some help and support, subscribe to my channel, Slimming Inspirations for You. We can do it together, we can have some fun with this. Look at some of my recipes, some of the things I do. Don't get it right, I'm not an expert, I'm just like you. I'm just somebody who wants to feel good and look good. So thank you for listening. Hopefully I'm going to be doing this, and I'm going to be celebrating my 50th birthday looking amazing. Tune into my channel, okay? Please press subscribe and follow me. I really want to see who's out there and who's listening. So happy new year. Hope it brings you everything you hope for, and good luck with your weight loss journey. Thank you.